Good evening, everyone. My, how J Street has grown. What a big crowd here tonight. Thank you, Mort, for your kind introduction, for your relentless, courageous leadership for justice in our country and around the world. I'm proud to say that I have the honor of appointing Mort to the Millennium Challenge Board, a very prized and coveted position. The only thing now is he's part of the Trump administration. But I know he will represent our values very well. It's an honor to be here with so many colleagues. Wasn't Senator Kaine just magnificent? Just magnificent. Where is he? Listening to you speak of values and the connection to the state of Israel and the Jewish faith from the standpoint of being a Catholic, it reminded me of how things would have been if you would be Vice President of the United States. And I was thinking, as you spoke, that we can survive anything because America is such a great country, and God is always with us. And maybe our lesson in this election is that God wants us to do more to weed out bigotry and discrimination and anti-Semitism and xenophobia and all of the negative attitudes that still exist in our country. Today, there were, 20-some attacks on JCCs or schools. Today, 16 attacks. Just today, 16 alone, JCC or schools. How could that be? How could that be? We have important work to do, and J Street is doing that great work. It's an honor to be here with so many colleagues. I know Jan Chakowski and David Price, so important in the Iran agreement. Carolyn Maloney, a new member, Ruben Kuhn from Nevada is here. My colleague, Peter Welsh, will be making awards tonight. And of course, it's an honor to be here with Senator Kaine. And I know we're all thrilled to be here with the first woman Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright. Be hearing from her later. Oh, I see Dan Kildee here as well. Dan Kildee. Oh, I know they're members of Congress, if you want to stand up, and I will acknowledge you as I see you. Jerry Nadler. Who's there? Thank you for being here. Hearing Senator Kaine speak so personally, I want to share with you why this is like a family affair for me tonight as well. When I first traveled to Israel as speaker, I've been there many times, as speaker, they had this big article in the paper about my father. It said, Pelosi's father and the Holocaust, and the Jerusalem Post. And what the article talked about was that my father was a member of Congress from Maryland, from Baltimore. Any Marylanders here tonight? I thought so. Any Californians? Anyway, when he was a member of Congress, he was a New Deal congressman, and this article goes on to say that he worshipped at the shrine of Franklin Roosevelt, worshipped Franklin Roosevelt, except he parted company with him on two things, which in this Jerusalem Post article said risked his political career. I don't know about that, but nonetheless. And those two things were that he disagreed with the president on the fact that the United States was not doing enough to help the Jews in Europe, and was not early enough and was not speaking out to support the establishment of a Jewish state in what was known as Palestine at the time. He spoke on the floor of the House as he described. He got up on the floor in the House and said that he was speaking as a member of the Jewish Army. I am a member of the Committee for a Jewish Army. And guess who was one of the founders? You're wondering why I'm telling you this story. So self-serving of me to tell you this about my father. But I have a reason I'm telling you tonight, and that is the co-founder for the Committee for the Jewish Army was none other than Jeremy Ben-Ami's father. How about that? How about that? And this was something very special. This Berkston group that my father was a part of and that Jeremy Ben-Ami's dad was part of too, they went around having pageants and parades and rallies and the rest for a Jewish state in Palestine and appealing to people to help. My father was a natural orator. He spoke Yiddish because he was a Shabbos Goy when he was a little boy. So he was all with the program and then standing on the floor of the House saying, I am a member of the Committee for Jewish Army. But that is a connection that goes back very far. The extraordinary participation of this conference and the tireless engagement and activism of J Street is a tribute to the legacy of bold and transformational leadership carried forward by Jeremy Ben-Ami in launching J Street almost 10 years ago. Thank you, Jeremy, for your leadership. In the Congress, on campus, and in communities across America, J Street has served as a powerful and necessary pro-Israel voice and a pro-peace voice. With courage and candor and passion, with love and pride in the future of our Jewish democratic Israel, you have honored the call to defend our values and fight for our future. Tonight, as we renew our commitment to this shared effort, it is my privilege in joining you, all of you, in celebrating two of our greatest champions, a woman and a man who personify J Street's dedication to peace and justice, Alexandra Stanton and Dan Cole. Both of them representing more than one generation of leadership on pro-Israel, pro-peace. With Alexandra, it's we're a three-generation family affair. Her mother, Damna, is my dear friend for years. My daughter, Christine, and Alexandra are friends, and their children are friends. So for me tonight, it is not only an official pleasure, but a personal pleasure to see Alexandra Stanton honored. She cultivates a new generation of leadership to address the challenges we face, and her vision and her tenacity are in her motto, get to yes. Get to yes, Alexandra Stanton. And Dan Cole, another generation in his family of leadership, has brought potent and purpose-driven strategic leadership to J Street's efforts, building on years of action and experience, working to build a better future for our nation and for the world. Thank you, Dan Cole, for your leadership as well. My colleague, Peter Welsh, will be giving them, acknowledging their awards. And imagine, they're getting J Street's well-deserved honor, J Street's Peace and Justice Award. Senator Keynes, you remember that Pope Paul, he said, if you want peace, work for justice. They're getting the Peace and Justice Award. They've worked for both. How wonderful. Again, from the leadership at the grassroots level, J Street's engagement has been invaluable in the pursuit of these ideas, peace and justice. J Street's engagement in support of the historic P5+1 agreement to block all pathways to an Iranian nuclear bomb was essential to its success, as Senator Kaine referenced. And today, your continued engagement is more important than ever. We harbor no illusions about the Iranian regime. That's why the JCPOA was not founded on trust. It was founded on verification, vigilance, and enforcement. Now we will continue to keep the JCPOA in force, and we will continue to hold Iran accountable for its actions. We will continue to exert pressure on Iran for its recent ballistic missile test and ongoing support for terrorism in ways compatible with upholding intrusive inspections and other cornerstones of the JCPOA. Our commitment to Israel's security demands it, but it's not just about Israel. If Israel had never existed, it would still be very important for us to stop Iran's nuclear ambitions. It's about the world. It's about the security of the United States. It's about global security. certainly about Israel's security. It is my firm belief that I said even if Israel had never existed, we would still have to take those actions. Even though Israel has proximity, we all have vulnerability. It is my firm belief, and I've always said this, that the establishment of the State of Israel is the greatest political achievement of the 20th century. The 20th century had some nasty things going on, lots of isms and the rest, and there's this bright beacon of light, of hope, of justice, of peace, Israel. Today we are called upon to sustain and advance this achievement in the 21st century and to fulfill the vision of just and lasting peace. I heard the senator talking about one state, two state. I've always said to the Prime Minister of Israel, we are always talking about a two-state solution, not a two-state notion, a two-state maybe, a two-state solution. If it isn't a solution, then that's not where we would go. But we have to believe in a two-state solution if we are committed to the long, forever life of a democratic Jewish state of Israel. Okay, so today we're called upon to advance this achievement, as I said, in the 21st century. Last year, we mourned the passing of one of the world's greatest statesmen, a soldier and peacemaker, a founding father of Israel, Shimon Peres. How beautiful he was. No matter what happened, sometimes we'd be visiting him and I'd say, oh my goodness, look what's happened. He said, it's an opportunity. Everything is an opportunity for peace. As we face down new challenges for peace, let us see them as opportunities. I'm reminded, though, of his wisdom and strength and the words he spoke in the Capitol when we were all a part, my colleagues and I, of his receiving the Congressional Gold Medal in 2014. At that time, he said, finding a solution forward is hard, but we must not lose hope. There is no better solution than two states for two peoples. He went on to say, a Jewish state, Israel, an Arab state, Palestine. That's what he said when he got the Congressional Gold Medal. And so, here we are, ready to preserve that beautiful dream of Israel for a new century and beyond. We must continue pursuit of this goal. There is no other way to continue Israel's proud character, Jewish and democratic. This is the Israel we know and love. As friends, allies, and advocates for Israel, that is the future we must continue to champion. Together, we will ensure that the unbreakable friendship between the United States and Israel is forever a friendship dedicated to peace, to justice, and to a future of success for all. Thank you, J Street, and thank you for leading the charge for the pro-Israel, pro-peace community. God bless you all, and God bless America. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the Congress.